I'm just trying to think of like that first thing that you would do. Like if you said, right, I'm going to work on this client today, what would be the first kind of thing you start thinking about?
So the first thing I do, and I hate it when I watch this kind of stuff and everything's all theoretical and you're like, thanks. I feel like I learned nothing. I just watched you for an hour and I learned nothing. So let me take you through a session.
Yeah, or the opposite where it's like you reflect on it and it sounds so much better than actually what actually happens.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
You're like actually.
I just sit there and I don't do that. I do this instead. Yeah.
I firmly believe that anybody can come up with ideas if they are given the tools. It is an art and a science. It is head and heart. It is all of the above. And I think anybody is capable of doing it if they learn a few simple things. So
cool. Okay.
The first most important thing to recognize is that we tend to, as animals, we tend to just look for the most safe, predictable route to solving a problem.
Right.
We tend to want to stay in the pack. We don't want to venture outside of our safety and our worldview. So that can get us into a lot of trouble. The first way that can get us into trouble is we tend to be vertical thinkers. So Edward de Bono, ages ago, wrote this book, Lateral Thinking. And it's about we tend to just work up to the idea. You'll get one idea and go, okay, great, that's the thing. Lateral thinking is about going, there's an idea, cool. There's another idea, awesome. And you just keep going. And the first most obvious ideas are usually the chaff, that blows away in the wind. You have to get those they're not bad ideas necessarily. You have to get the most obvious things out of the way first. And that's an important part of the process. Sometimes you circle back around to them.
Okay, so you'll go through all the obvious ones and you just keep on writing, just keep on bringing up more and more ideas.
So I'll take you through the cold hard, I will take you through an ideation session in a second. But so this kind of lateral thinking is important. It's important for us to acknowledge that we quite often just want to get to a solution and stop there. Yeah. If you come up with a great idea, don't stop. Write it down and come up with another great idea. Come up with 50 great ideas. Don't stop just because you think you got the winner. Yeah. So that's the most important, that's an important thing to start with. The next thing is when you're working in the confines or in the construct of a creative team, even if it's just with one other person. And this is something I learned from Tina Fey. So I'm a huge fan of Tina Fey. In my fantasy world, she's my BFF.
Okay. She'd be a great BFF.
She would love me. We would be we'd be tight. She'd be my roommate. She'd know how I take my tea. She's the best. So
you keep on saying it on enough videos. You never know. One day.
Tina, if you're watching, I love you.
We can do I'll do some targeting for.
Yes, can we micro target to Tina Fey?
Yes.
You and me, baby. Let's do coffee. So I love her book, Bossy Pants. In it, she's talking about, and I was also bizarrely, because I've tried out a million things in my life. I was trained as a kid. I took improv comedy classes, and so I was totally on her page when there was this rules of improv comedy chapter in her book Bossy Pants. And in it, she was saying one of the most important rules of improv comedy is to never ever shut your partner down. Mm-hmm. So if you say to me, "I have a gun," you don't go. I don't go, "Oh, that's not a gun," because then the gag it's just okay. Yeah. So if we're on the stage and we're riffing off of each other, and I say to you, "I have a gun," you should be like, "Yes, and it's full of water," or, "Oh, don't shoot me with your," you have to go with it. Yeah, yeah. So the thing there is yes, and. Okay. You never say, "No, it's not." That's bad. So I in the very first time I ever led an ideation session at work, I was like, this is what we're going to do. We're going to treat this like improv, and we're never, ever going to shut anybody down. So we never, and I am still trying to train myself in this way, so I catch myself doing it all the time, and I'm really trying not to. But we never say, but, or right. That's not a good idea, or we do not judge each other's ideas at all. We always, if we need to say something, we always build on it and add to it. So if you were to give an idea that really had nothing to do with what we were talking about, I wouldn't say no. I would go, yes, and how could we apply that to this brand? How could we apply that to this product? Which can actually lend to some really great ideas, because you're taking something completely outside of that realm and actually finding out how to apply it to this thing. And that's actually that's actually where some great ideas come from. So this is an ideation session. We all sit around, and usually there's like a whiteboard, and it's important to have someone leading the session, and that person can help facilitate if people start getting judgmental on other people's ideas and stuff. Yeah. Also, I'm just a bossy pants control freak, and I like to be in charge. So
it looks like you'll be taking control now.
So I have the pen and the whiteboard, or I delegate someone to be the whiteboard writer. And so I go, okay, so here's the problem. Here's the advertising or the marketing problem. Here's the thing that we're solving. This product exists. These people don't know about it. Mm-hmm. This product exists. These people they know about it, but they don't think they need it. Whatever the brief is. So we lay out the problem, and then we usually have a free flow of just brainstorming, of throw your ideas out there. Let's get the obvious stuff out. We kind of purge all of the obvious ideas. Everything is written down. You can record your ideation sessions, on audio if needed, or videotape it for posterity. If you might come up with something amazing, and now it's part of your company history. So it's good to record this kind of stuff. You could have been the start of some huge movement that you find 10 years later.
It'd be nice to have it on film.
It'd be nice to have it on film. So we get the obvious stuff out of the way. And then sometimes those things end up being the thing. They end up being the idea that sticks. But it's really important, and it's also important to come up with really bad ideas. I'm like, okay, give me your really bad ideas. Stuff that you think would never, ever work for this. Because you just never know where that stuff will lead. And because we have a non-judgmental atmosphere where everybody is free to throw out whatever they want, however simplistic it might be, or whatever. Sometimes we find at the end of the whole process, it was, sometimes every once in a while it was literally one of those first most obvious things. But in order to know that that's the right thing, you have to experiment with loads of wrong things to know what's right, which is like so many things in life is like that. You have to date the wrong guys, and you have to experiment, taste loads of horrible things, because that's how you know what's right for you. So we get all that stuff out of the way, and then we do the funnest bit for me, which is actually engaging in some specific ideation. Ideation is like a buzzword now for idea creation. We create ideas with some certain techniques.